My name's Tevin Townsend. I'm with the Back to Nature blog. I'm just a writer, and I try to coordinate with people who are like-minded and that want to leave Babylon, that want to be in tune with nature. And I was introduced to, I want to make sure I'm pronouncing your name right here, Amun Ra.
Facts.
All right, so I'm speaking with Amun Ra. Now, most of the people in the group are familiar with Nature Boy, and it turns out that you were affiliated with Nature Boy. You guys were living in the same camp, and you sort of split off from there, and now you are building your own foundation in Ecuador.
Facts.
All right. So I just want to go ahead and let you take the floor here to introduce yourself, how you'd like to introduce yourself. Let us know what you're about and what you can do to guide us. And we also understand that you are willing to take in those of us that are serious and that would be willing to come under your wing.
Well, it's not even, I would say, take in, because unlike Nature Boy and some others that might have tried to bring our people together, I haven't been blessed with the abundance. I'm one of the ones that actually live it for real, where I actually, if anybody looks at my Facebook, if anybody goes to my YouTube, if anybody goes to my Instagram, almost every post, almost every word is to assist the health, growth, transformation, and life of self, other, and all like around. And so when I took this path, Nature Boys was one of the ones that had videos out, putting out the truth about nature and about our beings and the health and the growth of all life that is, and just stopping the disease and coming together as a human race, as a full species, as a healthy, organized species. And so that's what first attracted me out and of the country. From doing that, I split from Nature Boy because the energy that I carry and the energy that he carries
It's 10
would not.
o'clock.
I apologize. That's my computer.
Okay, yeah. So, like I was saying, as far as Nature Boy, he's a great brother, and just like any being on this planet that's in a stage of growth, health, transformation, trying to learn about our purpose here and our existence here, we all have things that we're battling through as we grow. And so it was best for me in the way I broadcast and the things I was doing is because I'm not moved by money, I'm not controlled by money, and I just want to do things the right way in the best way as I can. So I only work off of donations. I charge nobody for nothing. I make donate and I make detox programs. I make plenty of videos, plenty of posts that assist people as far as finding their original diet as designed to us by life. And so when I tell people that I want them to come out here to the tropics, it's not necessarily even to just come with me. I only want beings that are thinking the same way that I'm thinking and to come help me assist in getting land for us to live our purpose as being one with the land, or we want to have land to exist on. If it was not for the trees that provide us oxygen, if it was not for the sun that provides the trees life, if it was not for the air that we breathe right now, allowing us to think and make conscious decisions, If it wasn't for the water that runs through our blood, we would fall apart right now. So if we can't have clean water, clean air, fresh fruit, and clear skies and tropical sunlight as a tropical being, then we're not living our purpose. The first purpose of life is to sustain, grow, enhance, transform, or you will not exist as a living, growing, transforming organism. You will not exist as life right now. Because right now, you're not holding the skin on the flesh, nor are you holding the flesh on the bone, nor are you telling every organ what to do in your body right now. So if we don't get in formation with life, if we don't respect sun, earth, air, and water, we've totally disrespected self, other, and all life around us. Because the undeniable facts is if we remove everything artificial, if you remove everything that we can call it God, we can call it Allah, we can call it nature, if we remove everything that the life force of creation did not make, there's only the human race and nature. These are undeniable facts, meaning that if you do not understand your human organism and how it relates to the life, the natural organic life around you, you fail. These are facts that nobody can deny. If we remove everything that was not made by life itself, you only have natural life, organisms with DNA, atoms, cells, tissues, organs, organisms, planets, stars, natural life. So if the human does not take his place as restoring the earth, restoring the health, restoring the communication between each other as humans, and between us and the planet and the life force around us, we fail, and we show that daily. This is why we're being diseased right now. We're in disease because we're out of formation with life itself. We eat dead foods. We put in artificial foods into an organic body, and we expect to have optimum output.
You know, that part about eating dead food rings really true to me because when you eat a fruit, it's I don't know how to describe it, but it doesn't feel dead. But you can go to the grocery store and buy all these packaged foods, and I mean, if you've ever had some fresh corn versus this frozen corn you can get at the store, they're completely different in quality.
Well, when we say corn, corn is a GMO anyway. And if we research, I mean anybody, this stuff is not hidden. If you research corn, corn will not survive by itself. It'll only survive with somebody watching it. These things we don't know because we concentrate. We're not concentrating on the earth. We're concentrating on things. We concentrate on the materials, the artificial materials of the earth, rather than the earth itself. There is no material. There is no artifact. There is no document. There is no person. There is no savior. There is nothing that has been experienced that has not been experienced directly through nature itself. So any material that we use comes from life itself. So we go take the materials from life, we destroy the earth, make materials, and then worship the materials. When it comes down to the food, it's so bad that if you walk into the store right now, it's a reason why they got the meat separated from the fruits and vegetables. It's common sense. They tell you that the meat contaminates the fruits and vegetables. This is why they're separated in the store. But the meat contaminates the fruits and vegetables, and the fruits and vegetables being the living organisms in the store, meaning that they're protecting life right in the store, right in front of your face. These are undeniable facts. 8.7 billion species since creation are on a raw food diet, and you made of the same ingredients. If you do not understand your first purpose as a human organism is to be a healthy, living, human organism or you will not exist as one, is to be a healthy expression of life. To do that, you must understand the structure of life. And for all practical scientific purposes, if you go to any scientific book, the structure of life is raw organic atoms. Raw organic self-organized atoms create raw organic self-organized DNA, or no organisms would have DNA, which then create raw organic self-organized tissues. These raw organic self-organized tissues then create raw organic self-organized organs. These raw organic self-organized organs then create an organism. And this is what you are. Right now, every cell, which cell are you? Which atom are you? Which tissue are you? Because there's no part of the human body that's not intelligent. And so when we put something that's artificial into an organic, natural, intelligent body, we've officially gotten in life's way. There's no part of the human organism that is a dead, artificial energy. Every part of the whole human organism is self-organized and alive. Food is energy, meaning that everything you see is energy. Everything you hear is energy. Everything you put in your mouth is energy. Everything you touch is energy. So when we taken the whole complete natural environment away, when I say the food really matters, I'm not just talking about what you put in your mouth. I'm saying that the fact that when you destroy nature and put up a whole bunch of buildings and destroy the air, you've officially got in nature's way. When you put in dead artificial foods into your body, we eating food that nature ain't made in billions since creation. Since creation, 8.7 billion species. They went through the same process that I just named: atoms, cells, tissues, organisms. All 8.7 billion species are on a raw food diet, meaning that they eat other organisms that went through the same process, meaning that everything in nature is food. An insect is food. Grass is food. Wood is food. Everything in nature is raw organic food to something in nature. If you don't know what your food is, then you are a lost soul. You do not find the bumblebees when you do not find the flowers. It's a reason why you do not see the primates outside of the tropical environment. The only reason why the human is living outside their natural environment is because we got transportation and we transport food from your natural environment to you. If it wasn't for that, you would know where to be. So your consciousness, all the consciousness allow you is to make the better or worse decisions for self, other, and all life around. Meaning that if we remove all things artificial, the undeniable facts is that it's only the human race and nature. No matter what nobody says, and these are undeniable facts. Meaning that if you do not understand your human organism and how it relates to self, other, and all the natural life around, you have indeed failed and you are out of formation. And this is what we call disease. When you have a disease, all it is that the body is out of formation with life. The most abundant mineral in the body is oxygen. Together with hydrogen, that makes water. So 80% of the human body is water. When you take an animal and remove the blood, all you effectively did is remove oxygen and water, which every cell in your body needs. Already proof that you're not supposed to be eating meat or you'll be eating with the blood. Like all the other species since creation. They went through the same DNA process. So now let's not forget that every animal on the planet, every insect, every plant went through the same DNA, cell, tissue, organ process. So when you eat a raw organic fruit or a raw organic vegetable, which can be assimilated by your body within 15 to 20 minutes, you're eating raw organic cells. You're eating raw organic life force. You're eating raw organic tissues. You're eating raw organic organs that are good for your organs, that are good for your tissues, that are good for your atoms, that is good for your living being. And just like all the other organisms since creation, when they eat raw organic life, they're getting self-organized information. And so my message, what I stand for, is I stand for all things of life. if it does not support the life, growth, harmony, transformation of self, other, and all of life, then it does not support me. It does not support you because we exist as life. And if you do not serve life, growth, health, transformation, you serve disease, death, destruction, and chaos. And you don't have a choice. These are the only two choices you can make every day. No matter what nobody say. Every action you make, you making a decision for the better of self, other, and all life around. The better or worse. Or you wouldn't have an earth to stand on. Or you wouldn't be breathing air right now.
That's some powerful words. I just wanted to see if you could elaborate a little more on one point you brought up, because I am passionate about people being more self-sustaining and really just understanding the fundamentals of life. And you talked about how we just go to the grocery store and we don't know the first thing about where the food comes from, and because we fail to realize the basics. We get caught up in this system, and I was wondering if you could elaborate on the importance of being self-sustaining when it comes to that, and the consequences of not being self-sustaining, and just letting these institutions control your life and put you in this matrix.
These are facts. And what's happening is that when we go into the store, the sad part to me is that why are we even given the option of something that is organic, something that is natural, something that assists my growth of myself, of my child, of my family, of self, other, and all life around? Why am I given the option of toxins, poison? Remember that for something to be food, it must be non-toxic. So when you walk into a store that is 80% toxic food and it's approved, knowing that it is toxic, we know that 80% of the food causes an immune system response the same way you get cut. Your body reacts to toxic food, artificial food, the same way it reacts to poison. And right in front of the store, you will see that they have a section cut off, and they will call this section called health food section. So why is there only one section in the store that says health food? The whole store should be a health food section. It should only be one type of food to consume. Remember that in order to, when we say the word love, when we say we love our family, when we say we love ourselves, what does it mean? It's not just, it must come with action. To love means to support life. If somebody say they love you and they do not support your life, it is indeed a lie. So meaning that if your food does not support your life, it is not love. So what you feed in your family, you're feeding cancer, you're feeding the disease to your family right from the store, and they show you right in the store. They literally protect. They're protecting the fruits and vegetables from the rest of the store. Look, they have the fruits and vegetables cut off from the rest of the store. They're protecting it. Even when you put your food in the freezer, they tell you don't put the meat at the bottom and put the vegetables at the top because you don't want the meat to contaminate the life. There is no part of the human body that is artificial. There is no part of the human body that is dead. If we look up the word, if anybody Googles the word detritus, it is called dead organic dead organic waste matter. These are what the decomposers of nature eat. The human is not a decomposer. The reason why the fruits and vegetables in the store is called the produce section is because the fruits and vegetables are the producers of energy. These are the producers of life. We so out of harmony, we got soil coming out of our butt, and people don't even know. You don't even know why. We use the word. We take our soil to the bathroom every day and think it's normal. When your fecal matter is brown, the same color as the earth, showing you that your fecal matter belongs to the earth. You stealing from the earth and don't even know it. Your body is a earth transformer. You make urine and fecal matter for the plants. You are the reason the earth is not beautiful, because your urine and your fecal matter is supposed to be going to the plants to make the earth more beautiful. The human is so out of line. Every other species knows this. All the insects, all the animals, what do they give their fecal matter and urine to? All 8.7 billion species. So we're not talking about something in a book. We're not talking about something that's yesterday. We're not talking about something that's ancient. We're talking about something that's beyond ancient. Since creation, every organism eat from nature and they give back to nature. You drink water from nature, you give back your urine. You eat fruits and vegetables from nature, you give back your soil.
When I hear Nature Boy preach a similar truth, what do you say to those people that can't quite grasp the similarities that we have to all of the other animal species? Because some people think we're so special, or just because we are made of the same, biological components, because we're of the same earth, doesn't mean we would behave naturally as these other species. What do you say to those?
Of course not. This is the reason why we're in the situation we're in. Because we're not behaving like those other species. Because all of those other species, they support life. They know their purpose. The human is walking around and don't even know his purpose, talking about, I'm the divine being. If you're the divine being, in every animal, if every insect right now, if every animal right now, if every being in nature took the human's example of life, what would the world be, honestly? You see, there's a cosmic order. If the human thinks he's better than nature, then go stand on another earth. Go grab some more sunlight from another sun. Produce your own water. Remember that the oxygen must be available for you to breathe it. The human can't even breathe without a tree. Talking about he more special than nature. You need the trees to even exist. You breathe. The human is so in connection with nature. The human has such an intimate connection with nature that you breathe in unison with the tree. You breathe oxygen from the tree, and as you breathe out carbon. The tree uses carbon. So you and the tree breathe together. You breathe in unison with the plants. And you don't even have a choice. If the human thinks he's better than nature, then show me which organ is the human in control of. Because we know for a fact that we can take the brain out of the human body and it'll still function, and we can have a heart transplant. So where does the human exist? The human don't even know where he exists. I ask you, where is your mind? Do you even know where your mind is? Which cell is it? Which part of you is the mind? Because in order for you to tell me which part of you is the mind, you now have to tell me which part of you is not intelligent. Because the eyes are intelligent. They gather visual information. The ears are intelligent. They gather audible information. You have a nose gathering smell. You can feel with almost any of your senses, any part of your body. Your organs right now, you make new blood every 3 months. You got 5 gallons of blood in your body right now. You've never had to drink a gallon of blood to produce that. 99% of the humans can't even name every organ in the body. You not even all you can do is get in nature's way. There's only one being in existence. And this is something I'm going to say right now for you to hear and for everybody to be recorded. Nature is the only being in existence, and you are a human expressed as nature. All of life is using the same ingredients. Right now, the human saying that we're very different from nature, but all of nature is using the same breath of life, using the same sunlight, walking on the same earth. Remember that the very brain that we're using, what is it made out of? Can it function without air, water, sunlight, and earth? Can any being on this planet function without air, sunlight, water, and earth? These are the undeniable facts. And if we look in any religious book, in any religious doctrine, name me one being who came, who did not need earth, wind, rain, and sun. Name me one being since creation who did not need that.
Yeah, I completely agree. Nature has given us everything, and all we do is take from nature. We don't understand how to give back. It's
And and that's what I'm here to bring. And that's key. And that's my whole message is that everything in nature is here to serve nature by serving yourself. When you serve nature, you automatically serve yourself. And I'm going to break this whole thing down to you real quick, and I promise you it won't be no questions to it. And I'm going to be able to show this all over nature. This I'm going to give the full purpose of human life. Do you? I'm going to give you a chance. What do you think the purpose of human life is?
well, when I look around, I see that the bees and the ants, a lot of the insects, they're not confused about their purpose because you can look at an ant colony.
Facts.
Yeah, you can look at an ant colony in one country and then go across the globe. They do the exact same thing. They build mounds. Um, they have a really intricate order, and there's no confusion. And most of the other animal species are the same way, and they have ways of communicating, even though they may not necessarily use these human languages we have. And I see no reason why we should be any
They use
special.
this. They use the exact same language. They use the exact same language. It just sounds. Let me show you, for example. If I start talking in a language you don't know, I'm still communicating with you. You just don't understand the language. They're just sounds. They're using sounds that we don't understand. Just like if I start speaking a language you don't understand right now, we only understand the sounds we have given definitions to. Like when I say a word, we have given that word a definition. A lion don't know it's a lion. An ant don't know it's an ant. We call it an ant. We call it a lion. We call nature nature. These are categories we have used our sounds to title and categorize things. But at the end of the day, everything in nature uses sounds to communicate. So we all communicate in the same way. We're just using different frequencies of sound.
Okay.
So as you were saying, it was beautiful what you were saying, and how you was using nature is that everything knows their purpose, and
Yeah, and
everything.
just to kind of finish up what I was gonna say on that, and I just look at humans and I feel like we messed up big time because I feel like we probably had a big role to fulfill because we have the intelligence we have for a reason. We we every animal has something that makes them special, or every organism has something that makes them special, and we've gone way in the other direction, and we start wars and we're killing other animals. Um,
That's because exactly, and that's because we're at war with ourselves. We're at war inside. You see, anytime you put something artificial or dead inside of a living, organic, self-organized body, and I'm gonna break this all. I'm gonna break everything down, and you're not gonna have no more questions about anything. I promise you. I'm gonna break everything down. You got the right person today. And anytime we put something that is not organized, that is not in formation with life into a body that is in formation with life, we officially get inside of nature's way, and we divide ourselves from the inside out. And since we are water, we are a living reflection. And so these things reflect in our world, they reflect in our actions. And so because we eat dead, we put parasites in our body, we are walking around like the cancer of the earth. We're walking around as parasitic beings, parasitic to each other, parasitic to ourselves, and parasitic to the life around us. And it's because of our food. And that's what people do not get. And that's the key that you have to understand, that all of life moves to one thing since creation. Your food is who you are. Your food is what unlocks your consciousness. Your health determines the level of consciousness. There's no species since creation that has moved together in a sick state. There's not one species of ants, one species of buffalo, one species of fish. There's no species since creation that has came together as a species since creation. And that's why I tell people health is the only revolution, because there's no way to come together as a healthy nation, as a healthy people, with sick minds and sick bodies and sick actions, with toxic bodies and toxic actions and toxic thoughts, with diseased bodies and diseased actions and diseased thoughts. This is how the energy moves throughout the human race. And that's what we're doing. We have to understand that your personality, your actions, your emotions are the growth formula that you have given your body. Your body, your stomach is the organ that spreads the toxic, disease, ignorant information across your body, or it will spread life, organization, and health across your body. Your stomach is the main brain of the body, or the whole body would be malnourished, making the stomach the most important brain. And so, what we have to understand is the purpose of human life, or we don't have no reason to exist. Meaning that if we do not understand the purpose, if we cannot get our human purpose down, then we're gonna keep. What are we doing? What are we doing? What's the purpose of life? So the first purpose of any human organism is to sustain, enhance, grow his own organism, or he would not exist as a living, growing organism. This is your first purpose. In order for the human to do that, if we remove everything that life did not make, that means the human must understand himself and his relationship with nature. This is the only way to grow the human organism, because the human organism needs air, it needs water, it needs sunlight, and it needs minerals, atoms, elements from the earth to grow. So if the human does not understand these two things first, he has already failed. So when we look at 90% of the world, they are already failing, because they don't even look at nature as a part of them. They have completely accepted everything artificial as a way of life. Completely.
Yeah, it's an artificial world we live in. That's nothing but facts right there.
The women right now, they got skin on top of their skin, hair on top of their hair, eyelashes on top of their eyelashes, breasts on top of their breasts, butt on top of their butt. If I was going to create a human robot, I would need fake hair, fake eyelashes, I would need makeup, I would need plastic. These are the things I would need for a robot. These are undeniable facts. And we got our human expressions of life. They don't love themselves to the point that they're turning themselves into something. They're turning their own organic living organism into something or artificial. The mind is working. The mind is showing it doesn't love itself. So if we do not understand our relationship with nature, so in order to understand our relationship with nature, thanks to thanks to the science that we do have today, and being able to look on the internet and discover the structure of life, and what we have come together to know the structure of life, as far as what we have titled the smallest particles of matter being atoms. We know that the structure of all life, meaning that all organisms have a DNA, correct? meaning that everything that nature made has a DNA, meaning that atoms being the smallest particle of matter, they come together to make DNA. And everything in nature that has a DNA, this DNA is composed of carbon, hydrogen, nitrogen, and oxygen. Meaning that if you put anything in your mouth that does not have a DNA, you are violating yourself. Because everything that nature made since creation has a what? DNA. So if you eat something that doesn't have a DNA, which is the blueprint of life, which is the instructions, this is what gives the human instinct. This is what gives the human instruction. This is what gives the human intelligence. Because it comes from whatever you put inside your body, and inside that organism is an intelligent life force. Remember that each apple, each fruit, each thing in nature is made of self-organized atoms, self-organized cells, which means that these cells, these atoms, these tissues, these organs in every organism are self-intelligent. When you plant a seed, if I take a seed, I can put it in any book, an biology book. I can put a seed into a religious book. I can put a seed into wherever they say that knowledge is. I can put a seed into wherever they say that God is, and that book will not grow that seed. But if I go take that seed and I go plant it in nature, it grows. So where does the seed get the instructions? You see, everything in nature is self-organized, or your body will fall apart right now. Are you telling the blood what to do right now? Are you telling how much oxygen to be delivered to every organ right now? Are you telling how much calcium to be delivered to the bones right now? Who's giving the damn instructions? You are a self-organized organism, and everything in nature is self-organized. It's only one mind operating this thing, and when you put something that is artificial, that is not self-organized, so when you put something like dead food, you have now took this food out of formation with life. Because the atoms in that meat, when a lion eats his meat, the blood, the DNA, all the organs, all the cells, everything is in formation. Everything is self-organized. When you go and take off the skin and pull out the blood, you're now pulling out DNA. You're now pulling out oxygen. You're now pulling out hydrogen. You're now taking what life has put in a divine formation, and you're trying to make something that's not for you, for you. If it was for you, you would eat it like the lions. You would eat it like the sharks. You would eat it like the bears. You would eat it like the eagles. You would eat it like the wolverines. Nature don't make no mistakes. Nature made vegan animals and it made predators. When you don't know who you are, you have lost your soul. If the bumblebee don't know where that flower is, he's a lost soul. If the camel can't find the desert, he's lost. Your relationship with nature is your food in nature. Let me show you this. So if you use your divine senses, so nature gave you common senses to be able to sense your way through nature and to know your food and know your purpose. So you use sight, smell, taste, touch, and hearing to develop an overall sixth sense called logic and reason to make a logical, reasonable decision for the health, growth of self, other, and all life around. You use your senses. So using our senses, meat is not attracted to you in any way. You don't like the way fish or any animal smells in a raw organic state. It's not even attractive to you. You don't like the way blood feels in your hand. You can't digest meat and blood in a raw organic state without throwing it up. It doesn't smell good to you. You don't like the sound of an animal in pain. You don't like the sight of blood and guts. So no part of the human sense can come together and call this food. So we know the human is mentally ill when he eats meat. We know this for a fact. Because none of his human senses can call this food like a lion can. Because if we go over lion's senses, his keen sight, he only sees black and white. His smell, he loves the smell of blood. They can smell it from miles away. They love the taste of raw blood, living energy, living DNA, a living organism. The way a lion eats the meat is the way a human eats the fruit. It eats it with the live skin, the live tissues, the live organs. Like when you eat a grape, you swallow the seed, you swallow the skin, you swallow the flesh, You swallowed the whole organism, and that organism had tissues, cells, atoms, minerals, in a raw organic living state. It had oxygen, it had carbon, it had hydrogen. It was a complete food to help you with your complete organism because you are a whole organism. You have a complete heart. You have complete cells. So you need complete energy. Just like that lion, when he eats his meat, he eats it in a raw, organic, live state with the DNA, with the blueprint of life intact. This is why the lion doesn't need a book. This is why nothing in nature needs a book, because the information they get is divine. They get the instructions because your mind is made not off of books. Your mind is made off of oxygen, hydrogen, carbon, nitrogen, minerals, elements from life. No organ in your body, no cell in your body goes to a computer, goes to a book to find out what to do. The blood doesn't need a book to find out what to do. The heart, the lungs, the kidneys, which organ goes to a book to find out what to do? The reason we have to go to books is because we're lost and we're malnourished.
Yeah, I think it is important to learn how to tap into DNA because even science has found out that the DNA molecule can carry information. So they've been able to store information biologically on DNA molecules, and if we, I believe, we're able to raise our consciousness and eat right and tap into the power of
These,
DNA, into the information in that DNA, that would be information from all of your ancestors and all the plants. It'd be
that's these are these this is truth, and these are facts. And this and what it is that we must understand what DNA is and what information is. And I'm gonna break. That's why I'm gonna break down. I've already broke down the first purpose of the human life is to understand our organism and how it relates to nature. And once you live that first purpose, nature will lead you to your next purpose. All right. So we must understand DNA. We must understand what information is. So what I want to do real quick is I want to go ahead and go over the full purpose of human life, and then I want to go over what information is and how it relates to DNA and how we can get more conscious and what we need to be doing to get into it. And nothing I say can be denied. You're talking to the sun right now. You're talking with the earth right now. You're talking with the air right now. You're talking with water right now, or I could not express right now. So the human, we must know our organic food in nature so we can give back to nature. We are fruitarians just like the primates. If we use our human senses, the fruit is sweet to your nose. And I'm just skipping a lot of stuff that I could go over how grains are not. If you cannot eat it in a raw, organic, natural state, nature is communicating with you that this is not your information. This is not the DNA you're supposed to be putting into your body. This is not your food. Everything in nature has a raw, organic, living DNA organism food, energy source of life that is designed for them, and they enhance each other. Meaning that the lion and the gazelle, they grow together. The bumblebee and the fire, the bumblebee and the flower, they transform together. The caterpillar and the bush, they transform together. The flies and the decomposing matter, they transform together. The mosquito and the blood, they transform together. So everything in nature, and this is what I want you to see. It's only one mind. It's only one heart. It's only one being in creation. This is what we mean when we say it's one people. When we say it's only one love. When we say it's one consciousness. When we say it's one energy moving through all of life. When we say it's one God, what we're really saying is it's only one being in existence. And nature is existing as everybody and everything transforming itself. And when you do it right, we are here to serve nature as yourself. You're serving yourself when you serve nature because you are all the things in nature. Every element that exists within you exists outside of you. The air you breathe is uniting with the air within you. The water you drink is uniting with the water within you. The food you eat from earth is uniting with the minerals within you. You can't unite with something you don't have one of. So when you eat something, you already know you're one with the earth because you cannot unite. In order to unite with something, you must have one of it. This is why dead artificial foods make the body discomfort or bring a disease to the body or take the body out of formation. Is because there's no part of the human body to unite with dead food. You need oxygen in every cell. So any food, real quickly, any food that does not have oxygen is a violation to your body because the most abundant mineral in every cell is oxygen. So if it does not have oxygen in it, you've already diseased the body and you violate yourself. And everything that nature produces in a raw organic state, guess what? It naturally has water in it, oxygen and water. Every fruit, every vegetable, every animal, everything that exists in nature in a raw organic state as food naturally has water and oxygen. The human is the only being who takes water and oxygen out of food and call it food. Since creation. So this is not nothing new. The human is the only being since creation that will take water and oxygen, the most abundant mineral in the body, out the food and call it food. But we divine, and we smarter than everybody else, we say. We smarter than all the other animals. That's what we say. Now, by fruit being our food, using our senses, we can use sight, smell, taste, touch, hearing. Using these, we can quickly see that meat, grains, beans, these things are not attracted to us in the raw state. We must alter nature in order to make this food. But nature did make something for us that does taste good in a raw organic state. Those would be nuts, fruits, and seeds. These foods provided by life itself. Now, let me show you the arrangement. Let me show you the purpose of the human. So remember that the human is going around trying to find, his first purpose is to sustain, enhance, and grow his own organism. In order to do that, he must understand nature. So the human walking around nature, and he sees this fruit tree. Using our knowledge of today, we know that we get oxygen from trees. So the tree is producing oxygen for the human, and the human is producing carbon dioxide for the tree. So we already see we are engaged in an intimate relationship with a tree. So your first purpose, already we can see we have an engagement or we have service to do with a tree because the tree is serving you, or you wouldn't breathe right now. Now all of a sudden, this tree grows a mango. This mango is attracted to your eyes. It's sweet to your nose. It tastes good to your tongue in a natural state. It fits perfectly in your hand. When somebody bites a mango, it sounds good to your ears. So all your senses come together and they can call this food. Not only that, the mango is 80% water, so it hydrates the body. So now the tree has produced food for the human. So watch this. If it wasn't for any artificial stores, what would naturally have to happen with the human? The human will walk by that tree, he would get attracted to that tree. So we have an electromagnetic attraction with the DNA of this tree, because remember that this tree is not just a structure, this tree has a DNA. This tree is made of oxygen, carbon, the same elements of life as the human, right? So the tree has now baited you. The tree has baited you with a fruit like a worm on a hook, and you walk over towards this tree. Let me show you what happens. As you walk towards this tree, you are now engaged with this tree. As you get closer, the tree is receiving more carbon dioxide as you breathe out. And you're receiving more oxygen as you get closer to the tree. You get closer, then the tree drops the mango. The tree is offering you something. You pick up this mango. It tastes sweet to you. You eat about 3 of them. You get relaxed. Later on, you're going to have to urinate from the mangoes you ate, and you're going to have a bowel movement. So the tree gave you oxygen, you give it back carbon. The tree gave you a mango, you give it back your urine and soil. So you see, you and the trees, our purpose as a human organism, we are here to transform the jungle. Your body is a earth transformer, and the earth is a human transformer. The earth is here to transform all organisms here, and all the organisms here are here to transform the earth, and they transform together as the one being we call nature. All of nature transform together. So the human and the fruit trees transform together. You get oxygen from the fruit trees, and you give the trees back carbon. The trees give you fruit, you get the trees back your soil and your urine. And now that circle of life is complete. Now let me show you what happens. Now, did you know this? As you breathe out, the tree has used your carbon dioxide to make fruit. So the tree used information from your own body to make a better fruit. You eat the fruit, and then you give your soil and urine back to the tree. The tree is going to use your soil and your urine that came from your body to make better fruit next year. So the tree transforms from your soil and your urine, and you transform from the tree, keep producing. You are in an eternal transformation with the tree. Now watch this. The bumblebee and the flower. The bumblebee carries the pollen and makes the honey. So the bumblebee is eating the honey and transforming the flower. So the flower and the bumblebee, they transform together. So the bumblebee know his purpose. Now the lion and the gazelle. The lion eats the gazelle. The lion then poops out the gazelle. The grass absorbs the pooped out gazelle, and then the gazelle eats the grass. So the gazelle gets stronger, the grass gets stronger, and the lion gets stronger. Now let's go to another animal, the fish and the sharks. The fish, all this works together. We are here. Everything in nature is here to transform nature for the health, growth, harmony of all life and self, other, and all life around. The human is the only organism that we call conscious. The only difference between the human and every other organism is that we are consciously able to decide to destroy, bring disease, and bring chaos to nature because peace.
Peace. It got cut off there for about 3 minutes, and
Okay.
yeah, I was trying to message you for a minute or so, but it was frozen my computer. So it may have been on my end, but we're reconnected. Everyone is still here. I've got one guy saying he's with the message 100% so far. The last thing we heard was let me see. You were talking about the trees and how we are an earth transformer, the trees, and there was a little after that.
Well, yeah. Well, like to just reiterate what I was saying right there is that our bodies are here to transform the earth, and the earth is here to transform our bodies. And that's what happens when we eat. This is why we've been growing. This is why your bones, your organs, this is why you're growing right now internally. And those who are younger, who are still growing in height, whose bones and are still growing lengthwise, this is why they grow. They grow based off the sun, the air, the water, and the food they receive. And so the earth is giving you the information, the DNA, the codes for your growth, but you're not giving the earth back the transformation for its growth. And this is why the earth is sick. It's because we are taking materials from nature and not giving anything back. And we must get in tune with that. The tree, if nobody's ever broke this down to you, the tree is a portal of knowledge. It gathers information with its roots. It reaches in the ground and it grabs the minerals. So meaning that every brain, every heart, every organism that ever decomposed has became the earth. And so the roots reach down in the earth and it grabs the knowledge, the information, the instructions, the minerals of life from below, we call earth along with water. The leaves of a tree gather sunlight and air, and its air being carbon dioxide from our breath or from everything in nature that breathes out. Everything in nature, they breathe in oxygen and they breathe out carbon from the plants. And so the plants use this breath of life from the organisms on the plant to create a fruit or a vegetable. There's nothing on this planet that no organism on this planet survive without plants. Even the sea has the sea plants. Even an animal that eats meat is eating another animal that eats plants. It's after the plants. And so we must get in tune and understand the structure of life and understand how to evolve our conscious mind, a conscious body, our conscious health for the better of self, other, and all life around. And that's our whole purpose here, or we won't have a world. If we don't exist to transform the world, to transform ourselves for better health, for the growth, for the transformation of self, other, and all of life, then the only alternative to that is disease, destruction, and chaos. And that's what we bring when we're in a cancer disease state. And the only reason we are in a disease state is because we are out of formation with life. And we are out of formation with life because we are not eating things and not doing things that are in formation with nature's natural design of life, with God's natural design of life. We must all agree that what we call God, what we call Allah, what we call the source of creation, we can call it nature, we can put whatever title we want to put on it, but we must agree that it's an organic, an original, a divine, a whole, a complete, a living energy. And this living life force energy has created everything in its same state. And everything in nature since creation only consumes things in this whole live, raw, complete state, and they only consume other organisms with the DNA, and the DNA being the blueprint or the consciousness of that organism, allowing you to absorb that intelligence into your being. And so we are here to transform the trees, and the trees transform the human. And then we live a life on top of that, meaning that the bumblebees, they don't make pollen all day. They do it for about 8 hours a day, maybe, just like a job. And then you still live your life. You still have your family, but you must serve nature first. And this way, you assist the health, growth, and transformation of your family, of self, and all life around. This is what love is. I heard you before you tapped out, and you said something about love, and how do we tap into love and what love is. We must understand what love is and how has creation, how has God, how has nature loved since life. And since creation, Mother Nature has never had to say, I love you. The sun does not say, I love you. The water does not say, I love you. The air does not say, I love you. The earth does not say, I love you. It shows you this by supporting your life. The sun don't say, I love you, but it come out every day and support your life. The water don't say, I love you, but right now that water is running through your blood and running through your body, or you wouldn't exist right now. The air don't say, I love you, but you breathing right now. Remember that the air must be available for you to breathe it. For you to even think of your next thought, for you to think of your next prayer, for you to think of your family at home, you must have oxygen to breathe. You can't even think of a God if you do not breathe that next breath. So nature shows love. God shows love by supporting, sustaining, growing all of life, or we will not exist as living, growing life. These are undeniable facts. And so when you want to love yourself, how do we tap into love? If your friends do not support your life, if your environment does not support, sustain, grow your life, your family, if your environment is being attacked, if your food is being attacked, this is not love because it does not support your life. It doesn't support your family's life. If it's bringing disease, disharmony, chaos, if it's bringing destruction, this is not love. So to love, we must understand life and how to support our life and support the life of self, other, and all life around. This is what love is. So if I love you, then I'm going to give you things and I'm going to tell you things that's going to help to support, sustain your life. So when I tell you to go to the tropical environment, it don't necessarily mean with me. I only want we are naturally a herd type species, meaning we move together. So if anybody wants to come and live in the tropics and eat the fruit and give back to the fruit tree and live our purpose that's we're supposed to be, that's all great. I'm gonna do it anyway. But I'm gonna speak truth and tell truth and admit truth regardless because it sustains life and that's what I'm here to do.
All right. So for those on the same frequency with you, or that are going to hear this and they're going to resonate because people are on different frequencies. Um, I wanted to know if you could give them some insight into how the kinship works, and like what your perspective is on that with um, each other and harmony. I mean, it may piggyback off of what you said earlier, but maybe a few people would want a little more details on how would work if they chose to make that step and go to Ecuador.
Well, what I'm trying to do is, and that's what I haven't really went live about yet and talked about yet, unlike
It's 11
other
o'clock.
I'm so
Oh,
sorry.
yes,
That's my
yes,
computer.
yes, you could.
Yeah.
But what I would like to do and what my plan is, and if I don't, my whole thing, if I don't succeed, and I have to go back and try another way, I'm gonna do whatever it takes to succeed, or it would be no purpose of me existing here. And so my goal is to try with or without anybody, and the people who do come, they're just assisting. And what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to get and manifest land here in Ecuador, and anybody that wants to help assist that, and anybody that is in tune with what I'm saying and trying to assist the love, growth, harmony, transformation of the planet, and they agree with what I'm saying, I would love for those beings to come and assist because, like I said, I wasn't blessed with the abundance, nor did I sell my soul in a way that allowed me to, forget about everything else in life that mattered and only focus and run out the money and chase out the money. And so for me, I have to manifest through donations, and I'm gonna put together a GoFundMe to get land, and it's gonna be uh, it's gonna be almost like a healing center and a village. And the village is gonna be for people who want to come, and it's gonna be open to anybody who want to come and live correctly, who want to put down disease, who want to stop the destruction, keep investing into it. Because when we buy meat, when we buy artificial food, they only sell it because we invest into it. And so we serve the devil whether we realize it or not. Every time you buy meat, every time you buy something that harms yourself, your brother, your family, and all of life around, you are investing into destruction, disease, and death of self, other, and all life around. And these are undeniable facts. And so if you serve that force, you must be honest about who you serve, no matter who you are. And so anybody who's ready to stop serving death and want to come live in harmony with nature and actually transform and start eating from the fruit trees, give back to nature, and from there just live in harmony with life, then I would like those beings to come and assist because I'm gonna do my best regardless to make it happen. And so for those who are trying to come to Ecuador, I would advise them to mentally release themselves from imprisonment because I don't want it's not gonna do me any good to have just the same mindset, the same disease mindset, eating what they want to eat, doing what they want to do. If everything in nature lived its own truth, all of life will fall apart right now. And so I only want those who are really, truly trying to live their purpose as a human organism. Your first purpose is to be a human organism. And in order to do that, you must understand your place in nature and what you're supposed to do. Just like all the other 8.7 billion species since creation. And so those who do come, that's what we'll be doing. And as far as like if I do, well, not even if, when I do manifest land, the goal is to get a healing village where I can have like, where I can start getting, vegan yoga teachers and any vegan cooks that want to assist people, trying to teach people how to make vegan meals and how to give back to nature and how how we eat from the fruit trees and give your soil and your urine back and just doing just doing things right by life itself and more in harmony with the planet versus things that destroy self, other, and the planet. And that's all this journey is really about. And that's all that really matters right now. We won't have a world to exist on, or we won't have brothers and sisters to love because right now, 600,000 people die from heart disease that come from eating artificial dead food. And that's just one disease. 600,000 people a year die from heart disease alone. And we're not even going to talk about blood pressure and diabetes. So anybody who invests, anybody who buys, anybody who eats dead artificial foods, you support death, disease, and destruction, whether you want to accept that or not. Because undeniable facts, these things are causing destruction to all of life. Because eating meat kills the animals. Eating meat kills the human because it's not for you to eat. No part of the human body can digest meat. Every time that the human body puts meat into its body, you have an immune system response, and the white blood cells come. You go to war with yourself. Your white blood cells attack the food every time you eat it, showing you that the body is at war. So we walking around in bodies that's at war with ourselves. It's like, why my kids won't act right? Because you just gave your kids the DNA of a cow. Cow milk is genetically. designed to strengthen the mind, journey, growth of a cow. And nature didn't forget about the human because the human female produces milk from her breast. But instead, we have taken our human children and given them milk from a cow. So now the brain of a child is getting information, DNA, genetic codes from cow milk, which is the instructions for the mind, journey, and growth of a cow, which are undeniable facts. See, people just not getting it in this way, and that's why we don't understand it. But these are the facts, and so we must get in harmony. Every woman's, I mean, that should be not. That's another thing that should be more like when I get these together. Like every woman should be breastfeeding. That that is first nature. The gorillas breastfeed, the lions breastfeed, the cows breastfeed. The human, look at the human, powdered milk, cow milk. We are out of formation with life and acting like we just can't figure out what's going on. And that's another question I'm going to ask you real quick, and I'm going to answer it. What do you think information is?
Information to me is something. It's almost like energy, right? So it's not destroyed and it's not created. It just is, and everything around us is information because when you feel, there's your fingers are
Um,
receiving some kind of information that says this is hot, this is cold, and your brain is interpreting information. So everything is energy, and ultimately I think energy
that,
is information.
that's a great answer. So let me clean it up for you a little bit. Everything is energy. Everything is not information. Everything is energy. So let me break down the word information. And then I'm going to give you another word, out formation. And then we're just going to use the word formation. You see, information are atoms, cells, energy, light that is in formation with nature, or all of life will fall apart. Meaning that nature, life, God has a natural, pay attention to this, life has a natural formation. Meaning that all of life, meaning you, everything that you see, everything that you touch is a energy that has took form, which allows you to see, smell, taste, touch it. So this energy is either in formation or out of formation with life. So nature has a natural formation for all of life. And I went over this. The natural formation for all of life is nature grows raw organic atoms, which then grows raw organic molecules such as DNA. That DNA then grows raw organic cells. Those cells then grow raw organic tissues. Those tissues then grow raw organic organs. Those raw organs then grow a raw organic organism. Those organisms then produce a population. This population then assists Earth's growth. This is the organic process for all of life, or the organic formation, meaning that all of life, every organism, are atoms that have took form and that are in formation, or you would not have cells, or you would not have DNA. Meaning that your DNA is atoms that are in formation, or the DNA will fall apart. Meaning that your cells are in formation. Your cells are atoms, are energy that are in formation, or you will fall apart. Your tissues are energy that are in formation, or you will fall apart. Your organs, every part about you, your eyes, your skin, your bones, are you holding the heart in place right now? Are you holding the lungs in place? Everything in your body are atoms that are in formation with life, or you will fall apart right now. The atoms, the cells, the tissues in your body are holding you together. And they are holding every organism together. Every organism in nature. What's telling the lungs what to do? What's telling the hearts in every organism in nature has a heart, has lungs, has blood. So this blood, these lungs, these hearts of nature, nature is the self-organized mind that organizes every heart. that organizes every lung, that organizes every atom. Because right now, which atom, you made of 102 atoms, which one are you telling what to do? Which one is your mind? Because everyone is operating intelligently right now, or you would not have a DNA. So that means that when you eat food, you are eating food that is information with life. Meaning that when you eat an apple, let me show you for example. When you eat an apple, the atoms, the cells, the tissues is energy that is information with life, or would be no apple. So when you eat this apple, you're eating organic information with life. This information goes into the stomach, and the stomach downloads this information of atoms. The body takes the atoms from the apple, and then the body becomes more efficient. All of a sudden, you're thinking clearer and you have better health because the atoms from the apple got in better formation with your body. And so now your organs, your cells are in a better formation for the apple. So when you cook food or when you take the blood out of meat, what you have done is you have taken nature's natural formation out of formation. So everything you see is not information because when you see anything that nature did not create, that is out of formation with life. If you see anything that does not support life, that does not support nature, it's out of formation. It's out of formation because everything in nature is self-grown. It doesn't need instructions.
I like that. Information out formation. That's going to be very easy to remember, uh, and it makes perfect sense. Just understanding the meaning of words and the roots and the etymology goes a long way.
Exact facts, and that's why it's so important that, and that's why I don't want to cut you off, but I want you to understand this real quick. That's why it's so important that we understand that when you eat food, no matter what you do, you're either eating food that is in formation or out of formation with life. And since creation, nature has made all organisms, all DNA, all cells self-organized, self-intelligent, and information with life, or it wouldn't be apple trees, or it wouldn't be fruits and vegetables, because all these things are self-organized, they're self-grown, and they're information, they are energy, they are light. When we say that we are beings of light, it's because that our atoms, our electrical energy is information holding our bodies together, which allows us to take shape. This is why when we eat fruits and we eat vegetables and then we work out, we say what? We getting in shape. You're taking a better form. Your atoms, the atoms around your muscles, the atoms inside of your body is taking a better formation, and you say, I'm getting in shape. And we are not healthy, you say I'm out of shape because you're out of form. Your atoms, your cell, your tissue is out of formation. It's amazing when you really break it down and you look at it like, damn, yeah, it's kind of crazy, huh? That's exactly how it's worked. This is why we want to get in shape. This is why we want to get in healthy. We want to get in geometry with ourselves. We want our atoms, our cells to take a better formation. And so when you eat fruits and vegetables in a raw, organic, natural state, just like every other organ, just like every other cell in your body, you're taking an information which will assist your transformation. Meaning that when you take in healthy organic life force, you put it into the body, and the atoms, the cells make a transformation for the better of your organism. And you call this better health. You call this a clearer mind. You call this a stronger body, but all that really happened is that the atoms have took the DNA from another organism in a raw organic natural state and have self-organized. So when you take in any raw organic food, you're eating self-organized energy. You're eating self-organized information which will assist your own transformation. And then when you use the bathroom, you're sending back out an information of atoms. Your poop is not just poop, it's atoms. These atoms are information which were put together by your body for the truth. This is a divine cosmic arrangement. And this is where we are out of order at, and this is what we don't understand. And this is the message that we're trying to, and this is the message I live. I stand for all things of life because I exist as all things of life.
All right. Well, that message is very well received. What I want to do here is go ahead and let you give out your social media for anyone that wants to get in contact or to look at the content you put out. Go ahead and let them know how they can contact you or view your content?
My Facebook is Amun Ra L. My YouTube is Eternal Nature, and my Instagram is one_eternal_nature. This is all my social media. If anybody wants to contribute or send anything of appreciation, want to send an energy exchange of appreciation for all I do, my PayPal is paypal.me/AmunRael. And this is all I do. This is all I care about, because if not, if we do not make this change, it's already clear where our world is going. That part is already clear.
Oh, that is too clear, all too clear, and it doesn't even take a very deep understanding to see the problem that humanity's gone in. It should be obvious, but it's just a matter of self-reflection sometimes, honest self-reflection, study.
Well, it's not even that. It's that as long as we eat the food, we're gonna always be lost, because we gotta understand that your brain is just atoms that are responding based on the growth formula that you get in your stomach. Because your brain is nourished by the information received from the stomach. If you do not receive oxygen or water for long enough, the brain is not going to function. So we know that the brain and the mind and what gives us the mental capacity to make reasonable decisions are based off what we put in our body. And the people who are able to get off, or the people who are, they might say something like, well, my grandma might be living and she might be doing such and such, such and such. We got to understand it. Just like running or swimming or holding your breath or doing anything, some people are more tolerant to the disease. So some people can walk around and they look healthy until it hits them all of a sudden. These people, the disease usually strikes instantly because their body was more tolerant, and so they end up with a major disease quick, rather than somebody else who might have had a slow disease like blood pressure or diabetes. They get hit with something like cancer quick because their body was more tolerant to the other diseases. There's only one disease, and that disease is the lack of oxygen in the body. Anywhere where there's a lack of oxygen in the body, you're going to find the disease. And that's where erosion or mucus is formed. A mucus, erosion, and disease is formed from where there's a lack of oxygen in the body. And the only reason there will be lack of oxygen in the body is because you put it in food that lacks oxygen. And no organism in life since creation would dare put in food that lacks oxygen into their mouth except the human. The human is the only organism that consumes food that does not have the very breath you need every second. And everything in a raw, organic, natural state has this breath of life. Every nut has this breath of life. And everything that you cook, everything that you put in the package, everything that you rearrange the way nature has made, you have officially and effectively taken the life force out and made it something else that the body cannot absorb and become one with. And so it causes a discomfort. It causes a disease. It causes the brain, the emotions, the actions to be out of formation. Your actions, your mind, your emotions, all this all these energies are just responding based off the environment that you put inside your body and the environment outside your body. So when you're not in a natural environment, when you're in a warehouse all day, you don't see trees, you're not around trees, you're not around your natural environment. So now you got a headache from just being there. Then you're not eating clean food. So you're being attacked. No, nothing about the arrangement is alive. Nothing about the arrangement is organic. Nothing about the arrangement is a natural. And so you get a disease because you are out of formation with nature's natural arrangement. And all animals, when we put them in cages and feed them human food, they get sick. In nature, they was just fine.
All right. So I really appreciate you coming on, and the people that have been listening in and that will hear this in the future definitely appreciate it as well. Again, we're all about connecting, so I would probably love to get you on again in the future during and get some more downloads whenever we can. The
Yeah,
more because
that would be
yeah,
that would be that would be beautiful, and because I mean it's really important to me that the people who do want to hear it and the people who do listen, and I want to know also as well. I had a question for you. Where would I be able to see it? Are you gonna put this on YouTube? Or would I be able to see this recording, or what would I be able to hear
yeah,
this
yeah.
recording?
I'm gonna put it. I started this new channel for the blog. It's called Back to Nature TT. I started it like a week ago for the Back to Nature blog, and I'll put this up on there. And I might go ahead and put it up on the SoundCloud as well. So I mean, it could be up on multiple places. What I also wanted to do, if that's all right with you, is I'm a writer, so I wanted to take everything we downloaded today and put it in a written format, so I could just, if that's all right with you, try to put your philosophy out there in that type of platform.
Hey, it's all love, and I definitely don't mind. I've seen I believe you the same being that spoke with Nature Boy, and it like I say when you write it, just be as sincere as possible, and just be and remember that we everybody, and like I say, I know that because everybody carries different energies, certain people expose themselves to certain situations, and which allow for certain things to be broadcast, and that's why they get a certain type of attention. But for me, I've never had that type of problem because I come from a pure place. I come from a pure place with this, and this all I stand for. This all I care about for real. And it shows in every message on my post, and every my YouTube, on every post on my Facebook, on everything on Instagram. And this is and it's really important that we get in tune, and that those who are in tune with this do assist this transformation, because at the end of the day, it's really gonna come down to anyway. No matter what, nature's cleaning up right now. You are attached to the earth right now. You're attached to the air right now. You wouldn't be breathing. You're attached to water right now. You wouldn't have blood. You're attached to the sun right now. You wouldn't have a soul. You're attached to the earth. You wouldn't have a body. So the sooner I can, and like I say, I consider this. I mean, this message, this call right here, just might attract the right being and the right person, because it don't take. It's plenty of beings right now that have millions of dollars. They get paid millions to destroy life. But as soon as I broadcast all the right things, it sure it'll take a long time for the people who have it to come support it. But they support death, destruction, they support materials, they support everything that destroys self, other, and all of life quickly. So I hope this message reach loving ears. I hope this message reach the ears of transformation. I hope this message reach the ears of growth.
This
I
this
hope this message reach the ears of life.
yeah, this message is powerful, and when I was watching you speak earlier, you know, I can see the results of people that have been affiliated with Nature Boy, and that group, and I see the positivity coming out of you, and all I get is positive vibes and knowledge and understanding, and people take notice of that, like myself. So again, we really appreciate it, and if you stick around, that would be great, because we do have members in the group that are pretty deep into the consciousness process, but I don't think we have anyone that has as powerful a message as you thus far. So I believe you could do a lot of good.
If I made a video called "Are We in God's Way?" I don't know if you've seen that one. If I can get 1 million people to watch that video, that probably enough. If that can get around the world right there, that's enough. I
Oh,
made a video on my YouTube called "Are You in God's Way?"
all
The
right.
the purpose of human life.
I'll make
That
sure I
video,
put that as a top recommendation on when I put
put
this
that
out.
one, put that one as a top recommendation, please. And if you watch that one, I mean, because on that one I was able to actually pull up on the computer and show people the science of the DNA, and that I broke everything down, and it's undeniable. And I'm gonna say one more thing on the line thing, just so people might have a question about how nature is God. And so I want to break this down. What make nature God, what make nature supreme, is that when we say God is infinite, when we say God is omnipresent, that is indeed nature, because there is nowhere you can point where nature does not exist. Meaning that nature is infinite in all directions. Everywhere you point, you will find energy or life force from nature. There is no direction you can point. Nature is omnipotent, meaning all powerful. There is no power that has ever existed outside of nature, and no being can name a power outside of nature. No being can name a power outside of lightning, electricity, fire, earth, water, and air. No one can name a power outside of nature, making nature all powerful. Nature is omniscient, meaning all knowing, meaning all brains, all cells, all atoms, all things we call intelligence come from in and as nature, making nature supreme. And these are undeniable facts. If anybody disagrees, it's really simple. Bring me one artifact, bring me one document, bring me one being, bring me one priest, name one savior, bring me one of anything that did not come in nature since creation. These are the undeniable facts. So if we do not respect self other than nature, we disrespect God, we disrespect all things of life, and we serve the demonic forces of life. We serve the devil and don't even know it.
All right. Well, with that said, again, we appreciate you, and you guys have a great day, everyone.
All right, appreciate it. It's all love. It's been nice talking with you.
Same here. Bye.
If you could send me that link that you're going to send as far as the recording.
Okay, I absolutely will. Actually, what I do is I put out my article on it, and that links out to everything. So it'll be pretty neat, organized, and I'll probably grab a picture of you for everyone to see, if that's all right.
It's all love.
All right. Well, have a good night.
All right, appreciate it, fam.